Hello, welcome to Monday Evenings North West Tonight with Roger Johnson. Thanks for your company. Our top story, a call for clearer warnings about side effects after Anya died from a blood clot from taking the contraceptive pill.
If we can make a difference to somebody else's life and stop that happening to them, I hope that's what we can do.
We'll speak live to a leading GP to get her advice. Also tonight, the King is heckled on a visit to Clitheroe in Lancashire.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Esther?
It was over what he knew about his brother's links to Jeffrey Epstein. Bringing our Pen Pal series to a close, the Fleetwood letter writers, young and old, meet for the first time.
I met a man who managed to grow homunculi.
They're like little people in jars.
Mystical spells and strange creatures in a cul-de-sac in Greater Manchester. We go behind the scenes on Mackenzie Crook's new comedy.
And we're in a bit of a rut at the moment with the weather, with very similar conditions over the next few days, but a change on the way later on. Join me at the end of the programme. I'll have the full forecast for you.
The mum of a 19-year-old woman from Bolton who died suddenly from a rare side effect of the contraceptive pill has called for packaging to contain clearer warnings. An inquest heard that Anya Rose Hurst died from a blood clot in her brain after taking the combined contraceptive pill Femodet. Kaya Black's been speaking to Anya's mum, Kerry.
She was beautiful inside and out, family orientated. She adored her family. And we adored her, every single one of us. She made you feel like you were so special.
Kerry's daughter Anya was 19 when she died from a blood clot in her brain. An inquest found that it was caused by a rare side effect of the contraceptive pill she was taking.
They said she got a mass on the back of her head, a blood clot, and that there was nothing they could do.
Now, the family have started a foundation in her name and want to change the way the medication is packaged. They hope that with clearer warnings, women might link adverse symptoms to the pill sooner, and it could prevent deaths like Anya's ever happening again.
We would like to stick the pill packet, actually, with some written information on there, rather than just a booklet in there that everybody discards. Anya's, in particular, came with a 102-page document that side effects on it. Young girls don't tend to read them.
Bayer, who manufactures Femodet, the pill Anya was taking, said that each pack of the pill includes an MHRA-approved patient information leaflet that outlines potential risks, including blood clots. Anya's doctors, the Bolton GP Federation, said their review and the inquest both concluded that the GP consulted with Miss Hurst in line with the nationally recognised guidance used by clinicians when a patient requests this medication.
We're not trying to scaremonger. We want to reinforce the positives and not stop people taking the compound. It's there for a reason. We're never going to get Anya back. But if we can make a difference to somebody else's life and stop that happening to them, then I hope that's what we can do.
Kaya Black, BBC North West Tonight, Bolton.
Thanks to Anya's mum, Kerry, for speaking to us. Dr Fari Ahmad is a GP at the Wilmslow Health Centre in Cheshire, and she's here, and thank you for coming in. We were talking there about the volume of information about side effects. We've printed them out. Oh. This is it. Is it realistic to get that onto the packaging?
I think that would be hard. I think that would be hard to do. And I think Anya's situation, it's so tragic. It's so sad. And I think lots of medications, not just the contraceptive pill, lots of them come with booklets that, patients are expected to read. And I get that sometimes you just don't have the time to process that. But this is where your health professional can come in handy. And I would hope, they would at least talk to you about some of the major risks.
And that's something you do with women who come in?
We do. Like, it's a standard thing for any GP to even pass their exams. You've got to be able to counsel somebody about the risks of taking a pill. I think some of it also is we need to get better. I take some medication. I need to get better at reading all the side effects and understanding what could be happening. And then I guess being vigilant. And if things are different, if you're not sure, just seek some advice.
Having said all of that, it is incredibly rare, isn't it, to get a side effect similar to the one that Anya had?
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's really tragic, but it's a very rare side effect. So, if you're not on the pill, so women who are not on the pill, if you had 10,000 women every year, 2 of them would have a blood clot. If you go on the pill, the number goes up to about 7 to 8 every year out of 10,000. But, we have to remember that if you're pregnant, those same hormones naturally go up in your body, and your risk can go up to 12, and after pregnancy, even up to 60 in 10,000. So it is a risk. But it's like for every person who takes the pill, this is where, having a consultation and trying to understand, for me, what's the benefit? What's the risk? Is this the right thing to do? And if it is the right thing to do, how do I make it safe for myself? So some of that is around knowing what to look out for, but some of that is also knowing yourself and knowing where to get advice if you're not sure.
So the key takeaway from all of this that you would want people to get is talk to your health professional and make sure you discuss it.
Yeah, get information from the right sources, so that you do know what's going on, that you do know what could be something you need to watch out for.
Thank you very much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Dr. Fari Ahmad. Now, the King was on a royal visit to Lancashire today, but couldn't escape the continuing fallout from his brother's involvement with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. He was heckled as he arrived in Clitheroe, someone asking how long he'd known about Andrew and Epstein. Well, a short time ago, he released a statement expressing profound concern over his brother's behaviour, as you may have seen on the national news. Anna Jameson reports.
It started well. Brass bands, waving flags, crowds eager to get a handshake. Then this.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Epstein?
Although the heckler was drowned out, it was a sobering reminder that public scrutiny over his brother's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein simply isn't going away.
Oh, he's been thrown in, hasn't he, at the deep end somehow? Do you think he should have apologised and come out before reading the papers today? He said now it's up to Charles to apologise, but I thought he already had done.
I'm glad I didn't hear that, because I'd rather it be a proud moment for our King, really, think about all the positives that he does for the country.
And it was a timely visit. Just an hour before he arrived, the Prince and Princess of Wales released a statement to say they were deeply concerned about the recent revelations with the Epstein files.
The Epstein thing itself is nothing to do with Charles. What his brother's done, it should be a separate thing. He should be getting the spotlight to Andrew. I think I'm sorry for him, really, in a way.
How do you think the King's handled it?
I think he knew more about it than he's letting on earlier on, I think.
Would the King not have done more?
No, he can't. Prince Andrew, because every family had one family bad, in a family, always one person. He was a daft lad. We can't do nothing about it.
In a town built on agriculture, it was a natural choice for the King, who then Prince last visited Clitheroe in 2017. Today, at the auction mart, he met rare livestock, including Pearl, a fell pony related to Queen Elizabeth II's pony Emma. It was then a 15-mile drive to the historic Samlesbury Hall, meeting bosses of BAE Systems, Booth's Supermarket and Thwaites' Brewery. And the King made sure he had time to sample local produce at Butler's Cheese in Inglewhite. Today, the King put on a brave face. And although there may have been just one heckler, it's a reminder of how difficult of a time this is for the royal family. Anna Jameson, BBC North West Tonight in Lancashire.
A man has been questioned on suspicion of murdering a student at the University of Lancashire in Preston. 19-year-old Carla Georgescu was found dead at student accommodation on Thursday. Police arrested a 34-year-old man from Hartlepool. It is understood that Carla knew him. Senior North West MPs have backed the Prime Minister this afternoon after the Labour leader in Scotland urged him to resign. The party's former deputy leader and Ashton-under-Lyne MP Angela Rayner says she wants unity. Meanwhile, Lisa Nandy, the Culture Secretary, Wigan MP of course, she was campaigning in the Gorton and Denton by-election this afternoon. She gave Keir Starmer her support.
I think there is a mood in the parliamentary party that we need to get behind the Prime Minister and make sure that that change is delivered. And I think there is also an acceptance at the top of the Labour Party that we need to be more ambitious, we need to be more inclusive, we need to change our culture so that we can deliver the culture in the country that we want to see.
Well, the Green Party leader, Zach Polanski, has also been campaigning in Gorton and Denton. He was there at the weekend, saying that the contest is a straight fight between his party, the Greens, and Reform. He says that's a choice between hope and hate. Our political editor, Annabel Tiffin, went to talk to him.
We know this election is between the Reform Party and the Green Party. It's between hate.
The Green Party called this their National Action Day, their new leader spurring on the troops.
Hate versus hope. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Fantastic.
The party faithful lapped it up. There was a late change of venue for the gathering, due, they say, to an overwhelming number of volunteers and campaigners. They had come from all over.
I have come up from London to do this because this is one of the most crucial by-elections that this country has seen.
So you've come from Derbyshire just to campaign? You feel that strongly?
Yeah, we do.
Do you live locally?
We're just coming over from Leeds.
Hope is now possible.
And that's through the Greens?
That's through the Greens.
In Hannah, you have a local plumber, someone who comes from the area, who knows the value of work. And in Reform, you have someone from St Albans who works as a right-wing TV news pundit who doesn't know the area at all. But it's not enough for us just to criticise.
Well, he did live here for quite a long time.
Yeah, but I think, I'm from Manchester, but I wouldn't claim, having left for 20 years, that I really understood this constituency. I think when you're a local person who's been living in the area and who knows what people care about in this constituency, that makes a lot more sense.
In fact, Zach Polanski was born and grew up in Salford, but he's currently a member of the London Assembly, and he isn't an MP. Some people in Labour have called you cowardly for not standing here yourself.
I think that shows Labour's attitude towards democracy. I am a Mancunian, but I've been a London Assembly member for 5 years. I've lived in London for 20 years. And so, yes, there could have been a message where I came back and said, I've come to return to my home. But that would have been dishonest. And I think people deserve better than that. And actually, to see the Labour Party, the same people who blocked Andy Burnham, I think that shows their attitude towards democracy. And I think it's exactly why they're going to get pushed to third place.
At the moment, the bookies have the Greens favourite to win this by-election. They came third behind Reform in the general election in 2024. But what does their leader put their dramatic rise in popularity down to? His successes or Labour's failures?
I think, truthfully, it's a combination of things. I think, undoubtedly, since I became leader of the Green Party, we've over tripled our membership. We're now at 190,000 members. We've also tripled our polling rating, so all of that helps. But also, undoubtedly, the utter collapse of the Labour Party, catastrophic decision after catastrophic decision, is also pushing people who used to vote Labour to the Green Party because they recognise they're not really leaving the Labour Party left them.
Thank you. Morning.
The Green Party battle cry has gone out, but ultimately it'll be the people who live here in Gorton and Denton who will really have the final say. Annabel Tiffin, BBC North West Tonight.
We heard from Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, on the programme last week. We will hear from the other main party leaders ahead of the by-election on the programme, and you can find a list of all the candidates standing in the Gorton and Denton by-election on the BBC News website, which is where you can also read some of these other stories that people are reading from BBC News this evening. And the family of an off-duty Cheshire police officer, Alice Mayo, says she was beautiful inside and out. A man was arrested after Alice died in a road crash near Sandbach on Saturday. Northern political leaders have told the government that any future UK Olympic bid should be based in the north of England. They say it would make for a fairer distribution of events. And the Isle of Man has started a consultation to designate Douglas Head as a conservation area. The Manx government said that it will safeguard the area for future generations. You can read those stories and more at bbc.co.uk/local news, or have a look on the BBC News app. Now, if you have been watching recently, you'll know that we've brought members of the community in Fleetwood together with a Pen Pals project. Pupils at Fleet Primary School have exchanged letters with members of the local Aqua Aerobics Club. And I was there today as they met each other for the first time. It was great. And Mairead Smith was there as well.
Some of the young letter writers from Fleet Primary singing to their pen pals as they met face to face for the first time.
I've never done a pen pal and it's just, I don't know, just so exciting. I can't even talk right now. Dear friend, my name is Jessie and I am 9 years old. It's just made me like just a calm thing to do.
Dennis was the lucky recipient of Jessie's letter.
I enjoy my time by watching movies and chilling out.
I think it was better for me that I got the letter first, so I could just reply to what he was saying, because he likes football, even though we do disagree about the teams.
This project has led to friendships across generations in Fleetwood.
Yeah, it's really exciting being with Sue today.
It was absolutely lovely because I was telling him things about me and my hobbies, and of course Roman was telling me about his hobbies as well.
Dear friend, I am really excited to meet you. My name is Roman and I'm 9 years old.
And the youngsters received a special message from the UK's Children's Laureate.
This scheme of writing letters is so brilliant. You're going to find so much pleasure in it, so much fun, and so much treasure in it. A letter is a brilliant place to learn to write, because you're not writing for teacher, you're not writing for a competition, you're not writing for marks, you're writing to connect with someone.
Skylar has been writing to Lynn, who went to Fleet Primary 60 years ago.
Do you feel that it's helped you with your writing, with your reading as well?
Yeah, it's helped me with like a bit of confidence as well, because I'm really shy in class and quiet.
So are you going to keep writing?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yeah, definitely. In my spare time, yeah.
The hope is to keep these pen pals connected.
The kids spend so much time on devices and on-demand TV and things like that. We've all seen today that this is the kind of stuff that's really special. We need to connect a bit more like we used to back in the good old days.
Mairead Smith, BBC Northwest Tonight, Fleetwood.
It was really great to meet everyone this morning. Right, let's move on to sport. Ian is here. We've got half an hour on the Winter Olympics. Cheshire could have maybe even a gold medal tonight on the snow, Ian. Mia Brooks.
Yeah, quite possibly so. Mia Brooks, the 19-year-old from Sandbach, has started competing as of a couple of minutes ago in the women's big air final. There she is. She safely came through last night's semi-final, finishing third. She is one of the medal favourites in the final that began at 6:30 p.m. and she has about an hour to go in this competition. So she's fourth place, Roger just told me then. It's happening as we're on air, this. So fourth place at the moment after one jump. So we might even catch up with that before the end of the programme, who knows. So Mia Brooks in the hunt for a title, as are Manchester City in the Premier League after yesterday's eventful second half at Liverpool. They're back to being 6 points behind the leaders Arsenal, despite going behind to Dominic Szoboszlai's latest unbelievable free kick. Look at that. Well, that was only the start of the drama.
You know, I don't know. So Szoboszlai is the first who pulled it, and after Erling pulled it, because of course doing that.
For me, he used a bit common sense, just give the goal and they'll give her a red card. But again, you need to follow the rules. So again, I respect the referee that you need to do this.
Conceding late goals, the bane of Liverpool's life right now, isn't it? Elsewhere in the Premier League, Manchester United made it 4 wins in a row under Michael Carrick as they beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-0. The Champions League place very much in their sights at the moment. Everton start the week 8th after a good 2-1 win at Fulham. But Burnley's relegation straight back to the Championship now seems inevitable after a 2-0 home defeat to relegation rivals West Ham.
I don't think there was a lack of desire or a lack of passion. We're in a difficult moment. I think you can feel that. I think the stadium felt that, to be quite honest with you. And I think you see a team that are fragile at this present moment in time, for sure.
Scott Parker actually got a bit emotional in a BBC radio interview after that match. Don't forget, there's a full midweek Premier League fixture list to come from tomorrow night when Everton host Bournemouth and Manchester United go to West Ham. In the Championship, Blackburn Rovers remain in the relegation zone, but Preston North End are back in the playoff hunt after Alfie Devine's goal saw off Portsmouth on an increasingly dodgy Deepdale pitch. In League One, promotion contender Stockport drew, but Bolton Wanderers survived a Barnsley comeback to win 3-2. Meanwhile, in League Two, Crewe Alexandra are only a couple of points off the playoff places after Tommy O'Reilly's great goal there gave them a 1-0 win at Crawley. Those were our winning sides, none lost heavier than Wigan Athletic, and their 6-1 thrashing at Peterborough was Ryan Lowe's last in charge. The former Bury and Preston North End boss, who was appointed 11 months ago, was sacked on Saturday night, with Latics now in the relegation zone. They play Arsenal in the FA Cup 4th round on Sunday. Manchester City's march to the Women's Super League title took a knock with defeat to Arsenal yesterday. They're now 8 points ahead of second-place Manchester United, who won 2-0 at Leicester City. Everton won 1-0 at London City Lionesses for their second win in a row, while Liverpool are off the bottom after a stunning 4-1 win at home to Aston Villa. The Super League season resumes this week, but our sides were in Challenge Cup action over the weekend. 2023 Cup winners Lee Leopards easily saw off North Wales Crusaders, winning by 60 points to 6 to book their place in the 4th round draw that's taking place live on the BBC Radio Manchester Total Sports studio right now. The Challenge Cup there with them. For a list of all the ties, you can go in a short while to the BBC Rugby League page. Cast your minds back to Friday. If you were watching, you should have been. Then we spoke to Tom Curry and George Ford, who were among the Sale Sharks contingent, who were playing in England's magnificent win over Wales in their opening match of Rugby Union's Six Nations on Saturday. Sale's Tom Roebuck there was among the try scorers, while fly half Ford, whose kicking and all-round play was exemplary, won Player of the Match. Next up for England, Scotland at Murrayfield this Saturday. By the way, I also mentioned on Friday that Tom Curry, you might have seen, say this about Roger, who he occasionally spots in his local gym.
Tell us about Roger Johnson at your gym. What's he get up to?
Oh, Roger. Roger. He loves the bench press, mind. He's good on that. Yeah. Roger's good. He's a good guy.
Loves a bench press. You were off last week. You wouldn't have seen that, would you?
I missed that.
What a compliment. Top sporting star.
I don't think Tom was too impressed by my guns, put it that way.
I think a lot of people would have been. A lot of people watch this now saying they want to see your guns, Roger. Maybe one for children in need or comic relief or something.
All right, Ian, thank you very much indeed. Mia Brooks 4th after the first run at the Winter Olympics. Now, if you were one of the people who enjoyed Mackenzie Crook's series, The Detectorists, you might be interested in this. Small Profits is a new comedy written by and starring Mackenzie Crook. Much of the show, which also stars the Manchester actor Piers Quigley, has been filmed on a quiet cul-de-sac at Trafford in Greater Manchester, and Annie Knowlson dropped in on the filming.
Bringing a touch of magic to a quiet suburban cul-de-sac. This street in Urmston is the backdrop to a new series that celebrates all things out of the ordinary.
I wanted a really beautiful, peaceful, comforting cul-de-sac to bring chaos to. And I wanted to shoot it up north because I knew I'd be guaranteed 7 weeks of glorious, unbroken sunshine.
The series sees Piers Quigley's character Michael looking for answers after his girlfriend's disappearance years before.
I met a man who managed to grow homunculi. They're like little people in jars.
His father Brian, played by Sir Michael Palin, shares an ancient recipe. Then spirits that can predict the future are born, all from his garden shed.
It was, a story that I sort of stumbled upon about these creatures being grown in jars, and that was, about 10 years ago. And it's been that long in sort of figuring out how to tell the story.
Producer Jill Isle showed me how the magical beings called homunculi that can predict the future have been brought to life.
It's not real manure, you'll be glad to know.
That's good to know. It doesn't smell like it.
Exactly. This is where the profits get buried. Yeah. So as you can see, they've been removed and they've been taken back into the shed, which is where we've...
this shed just up here, Jill?
Yes, so this is the shed where literally the magic happens. They're animated, so our animators are busy working away, animating all the profits.
Throw Michael's nosy neighbours and his frustrated manager at the DIY store into the mix, and the chaos follows. Sally Sadler, who lives in the house next door, says she found out about the filming while on her food shop.
I was in the supermarket. One of my neighbours told me Mackenzie Crook was on the drive next door. It's been amazing, to be honest. It's been really bizarre at points and surreal when you're seeing, you know, people staggering down the avenue pretending to be drunk and, you know, manure being delivered.
Are you two an item? No!
It's been a homecoming for both Pierce and Lauren Patel, who plays Michael's co-worker and friend Casey.
I've loved every minute of it. I mean, being able to film it in Manchester, where I've grown up, and be able to, like, have so many incredible people from the north working on it as well.
I've seen more of my mum than I would have done normally, but you know, I've always been I've had other things on my mind when I've seen her. But it's been fantastic being home.
Showing us a little bit of magic can come from wherever we look for it. Annie Knowlson, BBC North West Tonight, Urmston.
Filmed in better weather, as you could tell. Right, on to the weather. Here's Molly. A new place on the map this week.
We do indeed. See if you can spot it in just a moment. First, let's take a look at your photos from today. Still in that pattern of very similar weather, really. Lots of cloud about, some rain. In fact, though, the northwest has seen less rain than other parts of the UK in terms of this time of year. Much of the rest of the UK has had it much worse. Thank you very much for sending your photos in. If you'd like to send your own in, all the details are behind me. So I mentioned then, it's very similar patterns. So this week is going to stay mild, very cloudy overall. We are going to have further rain and drizzle at times, but a change on the way by Friday. We are going to draw in cooler air and have more of a northerly influence, and a hopefully, touch wood, drier and brighter end to the week. This is how it's looking overnight, so lots of cloud about. Generally quite dry, though, for most of us. A few showers bubbling up on the Isle of Man and some patchy rain further north. Can you see our new place on the map? Lowton, sent in by Carmel. She's been waiting since last year. Thank you very much for sending that in, and lows of around 4 to 7 degrees Celsius. And tomorrow, more of the same, really. Lots of cloud about. We will have some patchy rain out there and longer spells of rain as we head into the evening too. We're going to have highs of around 10 degrees Celsius. So still very mild for the next few days at least. That change coming Thursday into Friday, and look at Saturday at the moment. We should have, so I wouldn't go that far, Rog, but well, looking like a really crisp, lovely day full of sunshine, but still a week away. Yeah,
not bad.
So who knows?
Thanks, Molly. Small profits, by the way. 10 o'clock tonight, BBC 2. Have a great evening. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.